Hello, this is David Banks.
David, hello. You're speaking to Rada. How are you?
Fine, thanks, yes.
Good, good, good. Thank you for giving me some of your time today. I'm one of a number of people working on this project, so we record the calls just so we're not reliant on my bad note taking. I hope that's okay.
Right.
So Ollie suggested we have a chat to you following some conversations he and I had earlier in the week, and I'll just give you a bit of context on the work we're doing for the Commonwealth Games Federation, and go from there if that's okay.
Yep.
Great. So we've been asked, as Think Beyond, which is a sports social change consultancy, to take a deep look across the Federation, the Commonwealth Sport Foundation and Commonwealth Games partnerships to develop an integrated strategy that allows each of them to do what they need to do within their own governance and deliver on their own objectives.
Sorry, because it's so echoey, it's really difficult to hear what you're saying.
Sorry. I'll go.
So could you either speak a bit less quickly or put it not on speaker or something, but it's really difficult to distinguish your words.
Sorry about that. I'll speak a little slower. Tell me, is this any better?
Well, it's slightly better, yeah.
Bear with me 1 second. Let me try something else. I'm just going to pop you on hold for a moment, and let me see if I can bring another line in. And if you hear a bit of feedback, please don't worry, it will stop.
Hello, is that better?
Maybe. Well, anyway, we could go on and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so David and the team have commissioned us to come up with an integrated strategy that sits across the Commonwealth Games Federation, Commonwealth Games Partnerships and the Commonwealth Sport Foundation, so that they can each play to their strengths and do what they need to do, but so that we take a really deep look at the Games and the Federation and what it stands for, its role in the world, and how it can remain relevant, remain commercially valuable, and genuinely make a difference to some key issues within the Commonwealth and within society more broadly. So that's the context of our work. And necessarily that's also about working within the various bodies within the Commonwealth, as you can imagine. I have a series of questions that I sort of flick around with, and I broadly start, we're doing about 90 interviews in this phase. And what I'd really love to do is
Start with doing what?
Sorry, say that again?
You say you start with doing what?
I'd like to start by just asking if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your role and what you do and any intersection that you've had with the Commonwealth Games Federation, and then I'll tailor the rest of my questions accordingly.
Well, I mean, I only work very tangentially with the Commonwealth Games Federation, but I have done over quite a number of years because I'm the public affairs advisor to the Secretary General, and I have had interactions with successive directors of the Commonwealth Games Federation and with presidents of the Commonwealth Games Federation, and I've attended Commonwealth Games in the past when I've accompanied the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. So I've seen the Games in action, and I'm also aware to some extent of how it both supports and draws on the wider range of expressions of Commonwealth connection.
Great, thank you. And in terms of those interactions, then, as someone that is part of the Commonwealth family, what's your sort of perception of the Games? What value does it bring?
Well, clearly, I mean, above all, it's the profile it brings to the Commonwealth, and it's a physical manifestation of Commonwealth togetherness and connection, and to a large extent of the values which motivate and mobilize components of the Commonwealth to work together, the spirit of goodwill, the bringing together of very large countries with very small countries, an opportunity too for the non-sovereign jurisdictions to have a moment in the limelight alongside the sovereign jurisdictions, that type of thing. So normally in Commonwealth meetings with which the Secretariat is involved, it's only the 53 independent countries of the Commonwealth that are actively named and play their part, whereas at the Commonwealth Games, it's some of the dependent territories or overseas or subdivisions, for example, in terms of the United Kingdom, England, Wales, Scotland. So it's a slightly different expression, and I think that is an enrichment of an understanding of the scope of Commonwealth connection.
Thank you. And you mentioned the word moment there, which is interesting for me, because one of the things that I'm taking a really strong look at is what happens in between Games time that allows us to grow and develop and add value to the brand, but do so in a manner that makes an impact to Commonwealth citizens around the world, using sport, as you can imagine. And in terms of what opportunities there might be that would be valuable to you and your role, and broadly to the Commonwealth, what opportunities do you think, or would you like to see, or issues you'd like to see the Federation talking about between Games times, recognising that we have a moment of 11 days, agreed interspersed with the baton relay and the Youth Games, but again, they are short moments in a busy sporting calendar. I just wondered if you had any thoughts on that at all.
Yeah, I mean, when I said a moment, I was thinking of, in terms of widespread global publicity. I mean, clearly, so far as the Commonwealth Games Federation is concerned, and those that work in the entities that form that, it's far more than a moment, that it's much more sustained linkages. And I'm sure also for many of the athletes involved, it's much more sustained, because they will be preparing and training towards games for years, and they will think of it for a long time afterwards. So, I mean, so when I said moment, I was only meaning it in terms of grabbing the headlines or taking.
No, that's completely how I took it. But that is the public moment of it, and for it to have depth and relevancy in a manner that will bring long-term corporate partners, which I think is going to be crucial, and for it to advance issues around human rights, for example. If we said that that's what we wanted to do, I feel like those 11 days are absolutely the pinnacle of that. But there's potentially an opportunity to do more and give more and get more, for want of a phrase.
Well, one of the opportunities, of course, that the Games have, because of its ability, unlike many intergovernmental or